Welcome to all of you. Greetings to all of you, dear students. Let's solve one problem in case of liquidation. The balance sheet of Narayan Limited as on 31/3/19 was as follows. We have paid up capital. We have three class of share, one preference share, one fully paid equity share, and another is partly paid equity share. So we have 2006% preference shares of rupees 100 each. 4,000 equity shares of rupees 100 each, fully paid. 6,000 equity shares of rupees 100 each, 50 paid. Then we have 6% debenture floating charges on all assets 2 lakh. Mortgage on land and building 2 lakh, it's called creditors, secured creditors. Then we have sundry creditors 1,80,000. Then we have income tax provision 20,000. Then assets, we have land and building, plant and machine, stock, debtor, cash at bank, PL account. PL account given in asset side is treated as a loss. The company went into liquidation on 1st April 19. The preference dividend were in arrears for 3 years. The arrears are payable on liquidation. The assets realized as follows: land and building, plant and machine, stock, debtor. Then we have expenses on liquidation. Liquidator is entitled to a commission of 2% on all assets realized and 3% on amount distributed to unsecured creditors, including preferential creditors. All the payments are made on September 30. Prepare liquidator final statement of accounts. We have 2006% preference shares of rupees 100 each, 2 lakh. Then we get capital 2 lakh and rate of dividend is 6%. And preference dividend are in arrears for 3 years. Then we get preference dividend 36,000. So 36,000 dividend baki, 2 lakh into 6% into 3 years. Then 4,000 equity shares rupees 100 each, fully paid. Then we have 6,000 equity shares of rupees 100 each, 50 paid. Then we have 6% debenture. 6% indicates the rate of interest, 2 lakh. Then we have mortgage on land and building 2 lakh, it's called secured creditors. Then we have sundry creditors 1,80,000, it is treated as unsecured creditors. Then we have income tax provision, it is called preferential creditors. Tax is treated as preferential creditors. Then land and building, plant and machine, stock, debtor, 4 assets we have, and then 1 bank. PL account, ignore it, don't take for calculation. The company went into liquidation on 1st April 19. The preference dividend were in arrears for 3 years. So as per calculation, preference dividend comes to 36,000. The arrears are payable on liquidation. The assets realized as follows. So what are the assets realized? Land and building 4,80,000. Plant and machine 3,60,000. Stock 1,40,000. Debtors 1,20,000. And then we have expenses on liquidation is 16,000. The liquidator is entitled to a commission of 2% on all assets realized. So ella aasti mele 2% commission ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ವೇತನ, and 3% on amount distributed to unsecured creditors, including preferential creditor. So calculate remuneration even on unsecured creditors and also preferential creditors, that is provision for tax. All payments are made on September 30. 6 months delay. Kindly look at the date. The date of liquidation is March 19, but you pay the settlement on September 19. So there is a late payment of 6 months. So you need to make interest for 6 months. 6 ತಿಂಗಳು ಬಡ್ಡಿ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ ಡಿಬೆಂಚರ್ಗೆ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ 6 ತಿಂಗಳು ತಡವಾಗಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದು. Let's look into the answer. We have cash 60,000. Then all four assets realized together you get 11 lakh. Payment side we have secured creditors 2 lakh. Liquidation expenses 16,000. Liquidator remuneration on assets. Vetana Bandhu Moor Adar the Mele on assets, on preferential creditors, on unsecured creditors. On assets 11 lakh into 2%. On preferential creditors 20,000 into 3%. And on unsecured creditors it's 1,80,000 into 3%. So total you get 28,000. ಒಟ್ಟು liquidator remuneration ಬಂದು 28,000. ಸೊ ಇಷ್ಟು ರೆಮ್ಯುನರೇಷನ್ ನಾವು ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡೇಟರ್ಗೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. And we assume that sufficient cash is available, and therefore we calculate remuneration on unsecured creditors into rate divided by 100. So we assume that cash is available to pay full unsecured creditors. So total remuneration comes to 28,000. The next order of payment is debenture 2 lakh. Then interest on debenture 2 lakh into 6% into 6 by 12. So we pay 6 months late. 6 ತಿಂಗಳು ತಡವಾಗಿ ಪೇ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ 6 ತಿಂಗಳಿಗೆ ಬಡ್ಡಿನ ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಪ್ರಕಾರ 6,000 is debenture interest. Next order of payment is preferential creditors 20,000. That's called provision for tax. Unsecured creditors 1,80,000. Then we have to pay preference share capital 2 lakh. And then we have to pay preference dividend baki for 3 years. 3 ತಿಂಗಳು dividend baki. So ಅದರಿಂದ ಲೆಕ್ಕ 36,000 you get. 2 lakh into 6% into 3 years. Now let's check how much amount is available. Receipt side we have 60,000. Then all assets realized 11 lakh. Total cash in hand 11,60,000 minus secured creditors 2 lakh minus liquidation expenses 16,000 minus liquidator remuneration is 28,000 minus debentures 2 lakh minus debenture interest 6,000 minus preferential creditors 20,000 minus unsecured creditors 1,80,000 minus preference share capital 2 lakh minus preference dividend baki 36,000. So nammalli iruanta hana 2,74,000. So we have 2,74,000 total cash available. Now look into the question carefully. We have 4,000 equity shares of rupees 100 each. Then we have fully paid. Then we have 6,000 equity shares of rupees 100 each, 50 paid. One equity share bandu 4,000 equity share 100 rupee paid. Innondu bandu 6,000 equity share 50 ರೂಪಾಯಿ paid. ಒಂದು 100 ರೂಪಾಯಿ paid, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು 50 ರೂಪಾಯಿ paid. ಇವರು ಇಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ನ್ಯಾಯನ ಒದಗಿಸೋದು? How to equalize the payment, justify the payment to both. Now what you do, we have 4,000 equity shares, correct? We have 4,000 equity shares who have paid 50 rupee more. One equity share is 50 rupee paid, another equity share is 100 rupee paid. So what we should do is, those who have paid 100 rupee, pay them first 50 rupee. So ಯಾರು 100 ರೂಪಾಯಿ fully paid ಇದೆಯೋ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ 50 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಮೊದಲನೇ ಆಯ್ಕೆಯಾಗಿ ಕೊಡ್ಬಿಡಿ. So 4,000 equity shares into 50, you get 2 lakh. So out of 2,74,000, you pay 2 lakh to 4,000 equity shares fully paid. Then remaining leftover amount is 74,000. So as per this 74,000, you need to pay to all remaining equity share. That's 4,000 equity share and then 6,000 equity share. So 74,000 is paid to all 10,000 equity share. So you get 7 rupee 40 paisa. So conclusion goes this. Those who have paid 100 rupee 4,000 equity share have paid 100 rupee. For them you repay 57 rupee 40 paisa. Those who have paid 6,000 equity shares of rupees 50, you pay 7 rupee 40 paisa. So 100 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಪೇ ಮಾಡಿರೋರಿಗೆ 57 ರೂಪಾಯಿ 40 ಪೈಸಾ ರೀಫಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ. 50 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋರಿಗೆ 7 ರೂಪಾಯಿ 40 ಪೈಸಾನ ರೀಫಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.